And just so everybody knows, this is our last workshop series. So we do have our gift cards that we'll be talking about in a little bit. And then we have our grand prize that we'll be giving away as well. I just also wanted to remind everybody who is attending all 4 workshops, there will be certificates that will be given out at the conclusion of our workshop series. I will be reaching out via email or phone just to confirm I have the correct information. Either I'll start doing it on Friday, but we do have spring break the following week. So if you don't hear from me on Friday, I will do my best to get back to everybody by the following Tuesday when we return. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started with our presentation. So my name is Jeremy Combs. I'm a program development specialist for student services. I work with Scott Kazer with the Tobacco Use Prevention Education Grant. We also have Joanna Ramirez from Health Education Council, along with members of her team today that will be supporting this workshop series. And we'll go ahead and get started. So the work that we do through the Tobacco Use Prevention Education is funded through 2 propositions, 56 and 99. And really our focuses with this grant are around prevention, intervention, and cessation for tobacco, vaping, and other drugs as well. Next slide, please. So yeah, some of the services that we offer through our grant, as I mentioned, prevention curriculum that we offer 6th through 12th grade. Catch My Breath is the name of the curriculum for 6th. We have Project Alert for 7th and 8th, and then the Stanford Cool Kit, which is going to be for 9th through 12th. We also have youth development activities that we offer students. I believe last time we were able to show some of our Friday Night Live information to the video that you saw and some of the outreach and work that our youth do. We offer intervention programs for students that may have had infractions at school or just that may be using it and just need support. So Scott and I, we offer those services to students. So if we know any students that are dealing with these issues and need support, we'll have our information at the end of the slides of the presentation today, so you can reach out to us. We also support cessation services, which basically means helping students get off of tobacco or vaping or whatever substance that they're using. There are the resources that we will provide as well that we go through, such as the California Smokers Helpline that we use to provide to students. And then lastly, family and community engagement, which is why we're all here today. So we're grateful that that TUPE kind of really saw this as another important aspect of services that we're able to provide. And we thank you all for being here today. Next slide. So just a quick recap. So we are in week 4. So today is going to be really centered around a discussion and roundtable about just some of the information that we discussed, and just really want to hear back from you, hear from our families, hear what's important to you, maybe some things that you are looking to see that you would like some more information on. We'll be breaking out in groups. We're going to have an introduction to our presentation today to kind of recap, and then we're going to do breakout groups. So everybody will be able to work with a facilitator, kind of go over some of those questions in more detail. And as with every week, we will have our raffle this week. We do have a few more extra raffle prizes that we'll be able to provide. So as long as you are on through the duration of this presentation, if you already haven't won a gift card, there will be an opportunity for you to win a gift card. In addition to that, everyone is eligible for our grand prize raffle, which I know the image is at the end, so we'll kind of show you guys when we get there. That is sponsored through Health Education Council, so we really appreciate them providing that. So, and as I mentioned, certificates, we will be providing certificates to all the people that attended all 4 sessions. And we did go back to look, if you did view a session earlier and you've attended all the rest of the sessions, then that does count towards 4. So we'll be sending out a certificate. Like I said, we'll try to start Friday, but most likely we'll be sending them out once we return from break. And with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Joanna Ramirez from Health Education Council.
Thank you, Jeremy. So thank you everybody for joining us for our last workshop and for this whole series. And today we'll be doing a discussion and support roundtable. So we'll be going over potential solutions to youth use and available support. Okay. And for our organization is the Health Education Council. And we're a nonprofit whose mission is to cultivate health and well-being in underserved communities by leveraging the power of collaboration. And Lucha Tabaco is Latinos Unidos contra el Hábito y Adicción al Tabaco. And we offer workshops, trainings for schools and clinic staff, and like this workshop that we're doing with you guys. And for today's presentation, we're just going to go over a little recap of all the other workshops that we've done. So just a series review. And then we're going to go into breakout rooms. So those will be a more private and have you guys give you guys an opportunity to share any concerns or issues and any other questions that you guys have. And then we'll have some share some resources with you guys, and then we'll do the grand prize raffle at the end. So to recap, we'll start with e-cigarettes. So you know what types of e-cigarettes there are, and you can see from this image, the evolution of the e-cigarette. And we know there's the cigarettes themselves, and then the ones that look like vape pens, the box mod, and then the vape pod, the ones that look like USBs. So we've covered how what they look like and how they're changing and evolving, and also the flavors and how there's more than 15,000 kinds of flavors for e-cigarettes, and how tobacco companies they target youth because of these flavors, and we know that youth use e-cigarettes specifically because of the flavors. And the health effects of e-cigarettes, we know that one of the most common or harmful chemicals found in e-cigarettes is nicotine, and we know that it can harm the developing brain, and it can also affect their attention, their learning ability, their mood, and their impulse control. And we went over some of the signs of use, and some of the more common signs of nicotine addiction are them being more anxious and more irritable, having trouble sleeping and focusing. And we also covered some of the reasons why they use e-cigarettes, and it's due to anxiety and stress, or just boredom and curiosity, along with peer pressure, and they're also modeling their parents' behavior if they see that they smoke, and also because they just want to feel more grown up and feel cool. And so are e-cigarettes really safer? We did cover this, and we had some poll questions along with it with you guys, and we asked you guys what you guys thought. And we know that vaping may be less harmful than smoking, but it's still not safe. That there has been a lot of outbreak of lung injuries and deaths associated with vaping. And that research suggests that vaping is bad for your heart and lungs, and that cigarettes and e-cigarettes are not very different. They have a lot of the same dangers and chemicals, addiction, nicotine, and cancer-causing chemicals, and that the nicotine in one vape pod is equal to one pack of cigarettes. So the youth aren't really using cigarettes, but they are getting hooked on e-cigarettes, and that also contains nicotine. Oh no, let me go back. Okay, secondhand smoke. So we did cover some of secondhand and third-hand smoke, and we learned that it can travel through walls, even though you may not smoke in your own home. It could travel through the vents and the walls and the floors and windows, and we know that there is no risk-free level of exposure to secondhand smoke. And then we also covered some progress that has been made in tobacco control. We know that overall there has been an overall decrease in tobacco use, that there is no more smoking on airplanes or in bars and restaurants, and also that schools are smoke-free and tobacco-free. And that there's also the Tobacco 21 law, where they raised the legal age to buy tobacco from 18 to 21, and the SB 793 law. That's a statewide ban that would ban the sale of flavored tobacco products, including flavored e-cigarettes and menthol cigarettes. And we know that there's also local policies and restrictions that have been implemented, like flavored tobacco bans and tobacco retail licenses, and that there are also more smoke-free outdoor public areas. And we also covered, how to have that conversation with your kids, how to start it. We covered some conversation starters, and we'll be sharing those with you guys. like how do you start it? You ask them, what they know about smoking, and you fill in the gaps with information that you've learned. You also want to tell them some of the tobacco industry's marketing myths, and remind them that all the tobacco products, even the smokeless ones, contain nicotine and can cause addiction. And you also want to share some resources for them to do their own research on their own, and explain how it's much easier to say no in the first place than to quit later. And we also covered how to have that conversation with other parents, and sharing your knowledge that you've learned. So you want to inform them, to tell them what you've learned about tobacco, and advise them to talk to their children and share resources for their own research. And we did create some fotonovelas for you guys, and we'll be sharing those with you guys. And we also covered, how you can be a parent advocate, and that, parents are leaders, and, the more knowledge that you guys have, the more you can, spread that awareness and knowledge to other parents and other, family members and people in your community. So you can get involved in your community in helping pass local flavored tobacco bans and other smoke-free laws. And you can also, submit a letter to your local city council and provide a public comment, or join a local coalition. Okay, and now we want to go into our private breakout rooms. So we'll have, I think, depending on the size, we wanted to do at least 2 or 3. So we're going to have English and Spanish support sessions, and like I mentioned, we're going to discuss any issues in private that you guys want to, if you didn't want to share as a group. So we're going to discuss issues and concerns, and you guys can also ask us any other questions that you would like. All right. So thank you everybody for joining those breakout rooms, and sharing any concerns or issues with us, and we hope that we were able to answer most or all of your questions. So right now we just wanted to do a quick recap of each room. So I think we only had 2, English and Spanish. So just maybe like from our moderators, one comment or question that we wanted to share with everyone. And I don't know, Julieta, you ready? If not,
Yeah,
I could
I can
go.
go ahead and go. So
Okay.
our group kind of just shared out how difficult it is with family around who smokes to keep our kids away from the secondhand smoke, and then how we shared out also um, how flashy and just um, catchy this product is, the e-cigarettes are to young children and youth, and just some of the advice that was given from parents was being empathetic, which was covered in the workshops, and just to try to stay on top and really build a relationship with your children and family, and try to explain the difficult health situations these can bring to their lives.
Thank you for sharing that, Julieta. And for our breakout room, we had a few questions. One of them was, I think it was from Veronica, who asked this question here. It was, besides all the signs and symptoms that we've covered, what other ones, because kids are, they're very smart. They can hide things from you, like what other things can parents look for? And Liviana shared that, if your child is, avoiding or not having as much conversation with you as before, that could be a sign. Another one was, like they're avoiding eye contact with you. And that could be because, like their eyes are red or something, and or they just don't want to look at you because, that will initiate conversation. So just avoidance that they didn't have before with you was another sign that we talked about. Okay, and now we're going to be sharing some resources with you guys, and I know we covered some in the past workshops, but we'll be sharing out a Word document that has links to all of the different websites, and then we'll also It will also include PDF versions of the fotonovelas that we shared with you guys, and it'll be English and Spanish on the tips on talking to your kids about vaping and a parent's guide to vaping. And then these are some other websites that we'll also be sharing with you, as well as the Youth and Young Adults Quit program, and that's a texting line for youth to use, and that'll also be included in the document. Okay, and now is our grand prize raffle. If you want to go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay. So I hope you guys I was unfortunately trying to get all this figured out, so I wasn't able to attend the conversations, but it sounds like some great points were brought up, and hopefully those resources that we're going to be sharing will provide some additional information for you all. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and with the grand prize. So this is courtesy of Health Education Council. And as you can see here, there's an actually, Joanna, do you want to talk a little bit about everything that the grand prize entails before we call the name out?
Yes. So we have it's going to be a tote bag, so it'll be in that purple bag that you can see, and it's going to contain the big NutriBullet, so that's the big prize, and it's also going to have some two water bottle dispensers, and you can put a straw in it, as well as a smaller insulated water bottle. And then we have like a jump rope, some cooking aprons, one for you, one for your kids. We have an assortment of some cookbooks, English and Spanish, so a bunch of different ideas for you guys to cook at home with your kids, as well as a small stress ball, and then some Lucha Tobacco pens, and then some uh, Lucha Tobacco and just tobacco cessation information for you guys.
Excellent, thank you. So the winner is, with this one, it's going to be Lucia Neff. So Lucia Neff, congratulations. I believe you also won a raffle during week 1, so you are lucky, and congratulations on that. So Lucia, we'll be contacting you to arrange how you would prefer picking this up. You could either pick it up at the district office, or we could bring it to you if transportation is an issue, but I'll connect with you to discuss how you would like to receive the materials. And I know we have your email address because I've sent you some information. So we'll connect with that. And congratulations. Is there next slide? I think we're good that we're gonna move on to, excellent.
Okay, and this is just, for you guys, you guys did a great job, and thank you for attending this workshop. And we did mention this in our breakout room, like you guys just being here, you guys have taken that first step in preventing tobacco use in your child, informing yourselves, and you've gained a lot of valuable knowledge and tips to start and continue that conversation with your child or with your children. And you've become empowered. You've empowered yourself to become advocates and spread knowledge and awareness to other parents and friends in your community. So props to you guys for being here, either all 4 weeks or just a few of them. You guys have taken a great step for advocating for your children and for others. Okay, and then this is just my contact information. If you guys have any questions, you guys feel free to email me. You guys could also visit our Facebook page or Instagram, as well as our website for more information and resources. And then we have Twin Rivers, their contact information for Scott and Jeremy.
Great, thank you. And thank you, Joanna, and the Health Education Council for partnering with us and providing this presentation. And parents, thank you so much, like Joanna said, for being here, advocating for your youth and for your families. It's really important. I know a lot of the information may be relatively new. Vaping is, relatively on the increase in terms of what we're seeing with our youth. So it's really important to get the information so we can have those conversations with our students. We are going to conclude the presentation, but before we do, we are going to do a raffle again for the remaining Starbucks cards. Before I do that, Scott, is there anything you would like to say?
I just also wanted to say special thanks to Edilberto Soto for hosting these meetings and presentations. Thank you, Paul Bras, for doing the interpretation each week. You guys are working above and beyond, so thank you guys so much for that. And like Jeremy said, parents, we love you guys as partners. It takes a community to raise all of our students, all of our kids. So it's great working with you guys, and we'll continue to have information in the future along these lines as well.
And you have our I know you've seen our contact information multiple times. Please feel free to get in touch with us if you have additional questions and just information about programs that we offer specific to Twin Rivers, or if you have concerns with your students and just want some information about what we can do to provide resources to them, or we're able to help in that regard too. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and announce the winners. We have a few more folks attend today, so we're gonna be handing out, I believe, raffling off seven gift cards. I have those names. So what I'm going to need those folks to do is just stay on after. Just make sure you can send your current email address to me when I say your name. Just put your name and your email address, and if you could send that to me in a chat, that way we can make sure we have the most up-to-date information. The Starbucks gift cards are going to be electronically sent, so there's no physical card. You'll receive the code in your email, and that's how you'll redeem the gift.